Hello, 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 and welcome to an EdeAscent where I'm just kind of doing one of those, let's do an overview of what I'm doing and all that kind of nonsense. Because, I'm actually doing pretty well right now. I'm at 3259 points, rank 341. Not all that bad. I'm slowly getting back up to 49% win rate. So that's nice. But anyway, I just want to go a little bit in depth about my fights. So this one, they banned out Euphine and Bellion. Banning Bellion tells me they probably want to book spam, so that'll be difficult for me. But I first picked Bunny Dom because she's been a safe first pick for me recently. So I'm happy to use her. They go for Knackle and Zeo, which seems to me like anchor and fastest unit in the game. So who am I to try and fight that? So I decide to start tanking up. I go for MLken and Arwal. Some mitigation. MLken's good into Landy, and if they do decide to go to Cleave, MLken's good into pretty much everybody because Cleave's units need to crit to win. So he's a pretty good safe pick to just have earlier. They respond with Ran and Jacko because, of course, why would you not? I respond with a Ravi, and then they go for Ludwig. Now, Ludwig can be a problem, but at least from the way that I look at it, if they want Ludwig to cut, Zeo is probably going to have to soul burn once, which will leave Ludwig with only one soul burn available. And all of their plan hinges on Ran defense breaking everybody. If Ran doesn't defense break everybody, their job becomes infinitely easier. Or infinitely more difficult. So that's why I banned out Ran. They banned out MLK, I imagine, because they were going for Ludwig, and Ludwig would just die to MLK immediately. Or provoke him, or anything like that. Any number of issues. And now getting rid of Ran, it also forces the Zeo to try to push back the Bunny Dom. Which means that Karina is essentially scot-free. I don't remember if that's how it worked, but... yeah, so I just ban out Ran, they ban out MLK. So their first move is just going to go into Bunny Dom to push her back, which is fine. It's not going to proc Karina because I have mitigation. But it does actually debuff her, so this is a very high ER, or high effectiveness Zeo. Jacko's going to kill Bunny Dom because if she doesn't, I will get skill null and immunity on everybody. So, you know. Jacko, I can't remember if they soul burn this. They might. I don't remember. They do to get Ludwig his extra push to go above Karina. But once again, that means that Ludwig can only soul burn once. And, of course, they get a dual attack with Knackle. So, I'm already at another disadvantage. And now Ludwig is going to do his thing, call on Inky, Blinky, Tinky, and Poe. But it doesn't quite kill me. Arwal comes back, and Karina is still able to punch the hell out of this Landy, which is all I really need to do. As long as she doesn't counter this, I think we should be fine. Okay, great. Well, as long as she doesn't salvo, we should be fine. So, Navy Cap D Landy has a defense break, and this is the most cathartic thing that has ever happened to me. Go die. Nice soul burn. That felt... I cannot express to you the amount of joy I felt in my heart from that happening. Like, I absolutely cannot. Just pure elation on my part. It felt so good because screw Knackle, to keep it polite, but oh god. Anyway, next up we're going against S-Fins in the Exotic Guild in Global. They get first pick, they ban out DDR and Knackle. They first pick Bunny Dom, which is interesting for me because that's my first pick, so I kind of I get flustered a lot when they take my picks. But this one was a very confusing, like, ban, I suppose. So they go for Bunny Dom, I go for Arwell and Flitica. Arwell, mitigation, Flitica, a speed contester, essentially. Or something to be able to push my team ahead. In response to Flitica, of course, they go for Sealilius and Stene. Stene provides souls. Stene is impossible to hit with anything but AoE. And Sealilius is 98% likely to be faster than my Flitica, which is fine. I expect it to be. Flitica's slow as balls. Mine's only slightly fast because I give her my best gear, my best speed gear. So, in response to Sealilius and Stene, I go for Bellion and LRK. LRK because having double mitigation is fine because my ROL is on Holy Sec, and Bellion to stop their souls, and also to hit everybody. And then in response to that, they go Galalias, which is understandable, and they go F10A, who more likely than not would also be faster than my Fliticas, because I think they have similar. I don't actually know F10A's speed tier off the top of my head, but I think she's roughly similar to Flitica. So it'd be a dice roll, essentially, a coin flip. But I go for Zeo because Zeo is thank you. Zeo is damage. He is speed contesting. And he can also essentially nullify one of their units. So yeah, I banned Sealilius because she is most likely to be fastest, and that was under the assumption that they would ban Zeo. Because why would they not ban Zeo? They have 2 speed contesters, and I just picked the fastest unit in the game that will cut them, and essentially stop their plans. So, I don't know. They ban out Arwell. I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, Zeo ends up going first, and my Flitica is actually faster than their F10A, which is great. That is perfect for me. I wasn't sure about the Bunny Dom, because it could have been on Turnus. It could have been on something like that. So I went into her to try and, push her back. And this whole time, I'm just... Like, that's why I don't S2, because if I defense break and she's a Turnus, and she cuts, I am dead in the water. I also misattribute what F10A does on her S3. I thought F10A just had buff reduction. Like it was a 1-turn buff reduction. But she actually strips a buff, which I did not know. Thankfully, Bellion does not get provoked. Not that it would have mattered because she would have S1'd anyway. And ideally taken out everybody. But I get to S3 with her, and that kills everybody but F10A. And then F10A can't do anything. Like, oh no. Yeah, that's it. So it's very confusing. I probably also could have S3'd the F10A, but I played it very safe under the assumption that the Bunny Dom was Eternus. I don't think it ended up being Eternus. I don't actually remember, but yeah. And then this one was against Shadow. So this one was my bad. I shouldn't have picked a Ravi as the last one. So this is another cleaver. They ban Aiden and Knackle, which is fine. They first pick Zeo, so I go with Bunny Dom and Arwell in anticipation of the cleave. They go for Ran and C. Pavel. And when I see C. Pavel, I go for Karina and Rwana. And then they went for Jacko and Bryceria, and I responded with a Ravi. I probably, at that point, should have gone for Sage Ball. Sage Ball would be better. But Sage Ball wouldn't provide a lot of damage. Because I kind of knew they would ban Karina. I guess another one I could have gone for was like Surin. I could have gone Surin to get pushed up. I ban out Rand because defense break is scary. They ban out Karina, and as soon as they banned out Karina, I was like, I don't have high hopes. I don't have high hopes for this. The only thing I could do that could possibly help me out here is if this Zeo is for some reason not high effectiveness and doesn't push back my Bunny Dom. But they push back the R while to break the Aureus, which again is slightly upsetting. And again, they have to go into Bunny Dom to S3 her. She might have survived. She absolutely would have survived if the Aureus didn't get stripped, which would have been funny. But they're going to go into A Ravi, do a bunch of counters. It does not, unfortunately, it does not push me above the C Pavel, which is frustrating. Last time I did that, it pushed me above, and that would have been great. But they're going to kill A Ravi, and then I have literally no hope. But you can get shot in the face. That's fine. Yeah, and that's that. I should have picked someone better than A Ravi, but I like A Ravi. Probably also shouldn't have gone for Rowana, but what are you going to do? Like, I guess Balana would have been all right there. Balana could have been all right. Because she would have pushed herself up, gotten pushed up by Rowana, and... yeah, she could have been all right. I don't know. Cancer Muscle, I'm not going to give them... I'm not going to show them because they were a prick the entire time, and we're just emoting. So, hey, try not being an asshole, and I'll show your video. Next up, we go against SGII in a guild in Korea server. I first picked Bunny Dom. They respond with AOL and LRK, which is perfectly reasonable. I see a lot of AOL nowadays, but I'm not scared of her anymore. I don't have any issues with AOL. She's just a nuisance and not like an issue. So I respond with Knackle and Handman. To which, of course, they respond with LRK, and Pylus is a little bit sketchy into Knackle. I can understand why they're going for with getting the defense buff and all that nonsense, but not sure I super agree with that. To which I respond with Stene and Leica, Architect Leica. They respond with Celilius, and Celilius is fine. I already have two units that are good into Celilius before she was even picked. I had Bunny Dom and I had Hand Guy. Both of those are perfectly reasonable into Celilius, so I don't have to get rid of her. That's fine. I'm just going to get rid of their big damage, which is LCB, Balana. Because now their entire soloing capability is Pylus and LRK, which I'm a little sketchy on them. They ban out Banny Dom. Ban out Bunny Dom. Because they don't want those crit resists and the all the nonsense. Anyway, Celilius is gonna go first. Their AOL is also like 280 speed, which is ludicrous. But hilariously, I have 2 books, which is the most books you will ever see me have in any game whatsoever. I don't draft with book in mind. It just kind of happens. They're going to push back Hand Guy, which is fine. The main thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to S1 into this tiny little child. I don't remember what Knackle does. Knackle probably counters. She does. And I don't think it does anything. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. And that's fine. It's going to proc... thank you, AOL. You're very cute, but you're a demon. I'm going to go ahead, heal everybody off, which is fine. Going to go into AOL because she is a problem. This is where I think they messed up a little bit. Because Leica's S1 pushed her above the Celilius. And obviously my Hand Guy is coming up too. They S3 into Knackle, which is fine. It hurts Knackle a lot. But I don't really care. I'm just going to S3 this into the AOL. Hit her. Make sure she doesn't get pushed up anymore. She does have Vigor buff, but she's going to run out of that right now. They go into Leica, but it does not kill, which is important. And now I can push up the Leica ahead of the Celilius. She actually pushes herself up as well, which is hilarious. I'm still alive, and I'm going to soul burn into this Pilus. And then pray to God that this kills the AOL as well. Because AOL is a problem. It does, which is great. And now all they have left is LRK, which I can deal with. If Knuckle can stop countering for like 1 second. I think here I check if LRK has his S3. So I did notice that he did, so I have to soul burn this. Because Stene's dead. Stene's a lost cause. She's not surviving. So sorry, Stene, I didn't get to use your book ever, but hey, thanks. Knuckle then proves to me to be incredibly strong, as she is for everybody else. And now Knuckle has her S3 available, so I'm going to go into Celilius. I don't think they could do literally anything here. I do end up countering again because Knuckle is fair and balanced and definitely not a horrible mistake and a blight on this entire game. They didn't let me S3 though, which is upsetting. That's very sad. I wanted to S3. But hey, what are you gonna do? Let's go ahead. And then I face Zelkava. This one was weird. This one was very weird. They're in the 7 Sins Guild in Global. I first picked Bunny Dom because I'm eating my own words. They go for Arwell and Sululu, which is understandable. Sululu is a good counter into Bunny Dom. So I respond with LHC and Strays because I love Strays, and I'm one of the few people that is dumb enough to pick him third. To which they respond with LPK and Sid. So I go Zio and Stene because Stene cannot be touched by their entire team. And then they go Architect Leica. So I ban out Architect Leica, they ban out Stene. Perfectly reasonable. First 4 fight the first 4. What I was not expecting was Sid to outspeed my Zio by 2%, which means this Sid is roughly 315 speed. They're going to go ahead and kill Strays, which I do believe was a mistake. I think they probably should have killed Zio and then gone into Strays, and then LPK goes into Strays. So right now I'm going to push back the Architect Leica. Not the Architect Leica, the LPK. There's too many people, man. I'm going to push my LHC up. They're just going to S1 the LHC, which is perfectly fine. They're a bit low on power at the moment. I do get a lucky 15%, which I will absolutely take, considering they just, outsped my Zio with a Sid. They're going to go into Zio, do some good damage. Sid does not crit, but he does get a dual attack, which is hilarious because it procs by LHC. So, easy come, easy go. I'm going to go into LPK, get another dual attack. This game is a mess. This game is just hot garbage. They S1 into LHC and strip only the defense buff, which was worrying. Because now this is going to do much less damage. They barely did anything to Sid. I'm going to soul burn this, though, to get as much damage as possible. Doesn't kill, but they're going to soul burn. Doesn't push up fast enough. Now who's faster, Sid? And then it goes into Arwell and kills her as well. Now who's the fast one? Get wrecked, nerd. But yeah, that Sid is terrifying. I want to know the speed of that Sid. Someone find out that's Sid's speed, because that was terrifying. This one I probably should have gotten rid of Rylet, but I'm bad at the game. They just slowly wore me down. with this one. Rylet dodged a lot. It took a while, but... Yep, he died, she died. There she goes. Elena tried, but she wasn't good enough. Sorry, Elena. I didn't think they'd let you through, so I got rid of the Charon. But they let you through, so I, And yes, I know, LHC and Elena, not the best couple, but, who cares? This one was fun. This is against Ice Cold and the Hexus Guild in Global. They go for Lua, so I respond with Bunny Dom and Arwell, to which they respond with Stene and LRK, which is fine. I go for Bellion and Charlotte. They respond with Biblis and SSB. SSB being about 4 years past her prime, and Biblis being bad. I last picked Senya, which they have to get rid of because half of their team is now water. 3/4 of their team is not water, which is fine by me. So I ban LRK because there's no way I'm getting through LRK. Mitigation. And I don't really have any counters because Bellion is bad at her job. So that's fine. They're going to S3. Reset some folk, but that is to be expected. Bunny Dom don't got nothing to do. I don't know why I'm doing this voice now, but I'm going to go ahead, push this Arwell up. Arwell did not get reset, so I'm going to go ahead and stun this SSB. I'm done. Stun the SSB, I think. Or do I stun the Biblis? I stun the SSB because I don't want her to do the things that she's about to do to me. Unfortunately, Biblis does go before Bellion. Bellion, hey, if you don't want to counter, that'd be great. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead. I also did not get reset. Nobody got reset. If you want to hit the Stene, that'd be perfect. You missed everybody except for the Stene. Perfect. All right, Charlotte, if you want to hit Stene, perfect. You missed everybody except for the Stene. Great. I love you. Everybody's blind. This Biblis has a lot of effectiveness if it blinded the Bunny Dom. But what is infinitely hilarious to me, one, SSB is sleeping and stunned, which is great, but also my Bellion against Biblis did not counter a single freaking time. This entire game, my Elbrus Bellion did not do a damn thing. SSB's still existing, so I'm gonna go ahead soul burn this. Hopefully I can get a blind or a speed down on everybody. I missed. Okay, well, I tried. SSB is gonna hit everybody. It's not gonna do too much. Charlotte does get her buffs, which is great. I wanted those. I miss everybody, which is unfortunate. Bunny Dom, if you want to go ahead, sleep the SSB again. Perfect. Thank you. Again, no. Again, no. No counter. Good job, Bellion. You're really doing your job. Lua is prohibited from doing her S2, which is actually kind of really nice for me. Charlotte, or Bellion's going to go wake up the SSB. The SSB is going to counter and wake up my Charlotte, which is fine. No defense breaks again. Charlotte gets her Twirl-a-Whirl. And now SSB is slowly running out of allies that would be able to give her focus, which is great. I also gave her unhealable, which is hilarious. Because now if she is lifesteal, she can't do anything. But I am going to stun the SSB. Just to make sure she doesn't do like unbuffable nonsense on everybody. But that does mean Biblis gets her S3 again. She's going to drop the Chandelier on us. I'm going to thank her for that, and it's going to debuff only the Charlotte and the Bellion this time, which is fine. Sleep? Nope. Okay, well, I tried. She is on the cleanse EE, which is slightly problematic. Charlotte hits the SSV, which is kind of nice. Thank you. Let's go ahead soul burn this just in case I get a dual attack, which is not exactly what I wanted, but hopefully this can hit. Okay, blind is pretty nice, but she cleanses before she counters, so ouch. And she did heal HP, but again, I get a dual attack, which is fine. I probably should have tried to kill Biblis here, but who cares? The SSB is holding on with a prayer. And even if she's able to kill Charlotte and Valiant, it should be okay. Let's go ahead, try and sleep the SSB. Great. Charlotte has her Twirl-a-Whirl, so even if this misses, it should kill the SSB. It does miss, and it hits the Biblis, and Charlotte is able to take out the team. Charlotte is so strong, 3 water units could not bring her down. Ignoring that Bellion was there, and also, you know, Bunny Dom and Architect, or Arwell. But yeah, that was fun. And this was a Knackle game. This was just Knackle. Yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for listening to me talk about stuff I have no idea what I'm doing. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, because YouTube's algorithm is broken. So hey, let people know that I exist, and that'd be great, and I'll give you smooches on both of your cheeks. All of your cheeks, even. But thank you. I love each and every one of you. Thanks for being the best Jonai that I've ever Jonai, and I will talk to you all later.